There is no justification for terrorism for any reason or under any circumstance. This is India's message in support of France, a message that is unapologetic and perhaps unprecedented. This has never really happened before, not to the best of our knowledge. India has rarely come out in support of any country like this, the way it has for France. It has rarely taken a stand on such a burning geopolitical issue, an issue that has divided opinion around the world. Leading Islamic countries are rebuking France. The likes of Saudi Arabia and Iran, two important allies of India, they're up in arms against Macron. There is anger, there's outrage among Muslims over the French president's policies. And India, home to the second largest Muslim population in the world, has chosen to support the government of France. This is unusual. Look at the pattern, the kind of issues where India has chosen to not speak, not take sides. Xinjiang, Hong Kong, the decades-old Israel-Palestine conflict, the ongoing Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict. India has steered clear of picking sides when it doesn't have a dog in a fight. But not in the case of France. Let me show you the press release. The Indian Foreign Ministry put this out on Wednesday. Allow me to quote, "We strongly deplore the personal attacks in unacceptable language on President Emmanuel Macron in violation of the most basic standards of international discourse. We also condemn the brutal terrorist attack that took the life of a French teacher in a gruesome manner that has shocked the world." And most importantly, the excerpt that stands out: "There is no justification for terrorism for any reason or under any circumstance." We couldn't agree more. But what explains such resolute support for the French president? Is it public opinion? Hashtag I stand with France has been trending in India for quite some time now. Is it strategic interest? In the last 6 years, Prime Minister Modi has visited France 5 times. The Indian Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla is expected to be in Paris this week. India and France have signed a 59,000 crore agreement for the procurement of 36 Rafale jets. France is an important partner for India. But social media trends and strategic policy alone may not explain India's backing. It is most likely a mix of these two, plus politics. Let me explain how this works. Public opinion against radical Islam has become strong and loud in India. Also, the government of India is committed to bring in a uniform civil code. So it makes all the sense to support France. Emmanuel Macron is pushing a law to prevent Islamic separatism. He wants to put the French constitution above the Muslim faith, make all citizens equal under the law, which, by the way, is also the premise for the Uniform Civil Code. One law for all religions. So if France succeeds, it will lay a template for India. It also gives Delhi a perfect example of a liberal Western country doing what needs to be done to rein in radicalism. It is no wonder that India has backed Macron. Prime Minister Modi has tweeted support. The question is, which other governments have condemned the backlash against France? Not many, we can tell you. There's the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mark Rutte. He has called Turkish President Erdogan's remarks against Macron unacceptable. Then we have the Foreign Minister of Canada, who says Canada stands together with France to defend freedom of expression and respect. The Foreign Affairs Chief of the European Union, he has also spoken in Macron's support. He called Erdogan's remarks unacceptable and urged Turkey to stop this dangerous spiral of confrontation. And then we come to the other side of the equation, the Islamic backlash against France, against the leader of France. After trying to recall its non-existent ambassador in France, Pakistan now wants Muslim nations to take action. What action do they want? In the words of Pakistan's Prime Minister, and I'm quoting, "Breaking the cycle of hate and extremism." Imran Khan Niazi has written a letter to leaders of Muslim states. He's asking them to actively counter growing Islamophobia. He says the world cannot continue on this hate spiral, which only benefits extremist agendas and results in polarized societies. It's a bit rich coming from Pakistan, from the man who has provided a free run to globally designated terrorists. Pakistan should be the last one complaining about polarization. And guess who else is complaining about polarization? The former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad. He put out a series of sanctimonious tweets. Outrageous even. like the one on your screen. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad says, and I'm quoting, and you must pay attention to what he said, Muslims have a right to be angry and to kill millions of French people for the massacres of the past. There's another one where he says, Muslims have the right to punish the French, that even a boycott cannot compensate for the wrongs committed by the French for all these years. The French Secretary of State for Electronic Communication has now written to Twitter. He wants a suspension of Mahathir Mohamad's account. And he says if it's not done, then Twitter would be an accomplice to a formal call for murder. He's right, because you cannot complain about Islamophobia on one hand and make such provocative statements on the other. He is asking for violence here. The Islamic backlash against France may or may not be politically motivated, but Islamic leaders are definitely adding fuel to the fire by making it a battle between Islam and the rest. They are trying to paint a war on extremism as a war against Islam. And by making the two synonymous, they're doing the biggest disservice to Islam. Each one of them wants to position themselves as custodians of the Islamic faith, but none of them is helping the cause they claim to champion. Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION. World is One.